Gaming Today presents Cash Considerations.
Welcome to the Cash Considerations podcast. Today is Friday, December 4th. It's a little bit off the regular beaten path. Our routine got a little messed up. Mo is not here with us tonight. Stepping in for Mo, getting the call up from the minors, Moonlight Graham, Carl Hascall, Hascall. He's at Carl Hascall, is in the seat tonight. And we got a special guest, as we always do. My man is here tonight. We've been talking, chatting back and forth via text. We had to bring him to the show. We had to do it, and here he is tonight. He is Royce Dickerson at Royce3D on Twitter. Now listen, he currently is an executive producer with EA Madden NFL. He was the former producer at Fox Bet Live. For all you guys that watch Furman and Clay and Cousin Sal, he's got the inside scoop. He's a Western Michigan football alumni. We talk MACtion on this show. Our guy Mo can't be here, so we had to get a guy who actually played in the MAC, and he's here. And he's Cameron Jordan's dad. Royce, what's up, brother?
What's happening? Glad to finally be here. I've been looking forward to my debut. I'm mad I don't get to pick fun at Mo right away because that seems to be the national pastime here. But we'll make do without him. All right.
The best part about Mo not being here is he can't fight back. So you can take all the shots you want, Royce. Anything you got, he can take it. But we'll save it up for your visit to Vegas, which I want to get to first. Do you miss Vegas?
I miss Vegas so much. My wife and I are 5 to 6 times a year Vegas people. Usually the day after Christmas. My parents are usually in town, and the wife and I take off to Vegas for 2 or 3 nights. We call it R&R. It's our R&R. You can usually find us over at the Wynn or the Encore hanging out. But we go shows, dinners, massages, gambling, hang out in the book, grab a couple of cigars, blackjack. I miss it more than anything. It is something that we do all the time, and I cannot wait to get back to that city.
Oh, man, that is awesome to hear. We can't wait to have you back. And now that we know each other, we can't wait to kick it a little bit. I think I like the circle you're running in. I was going to try to maybe hook you up, but I may be going to get hooked up by you. We may have to go down to the Wynn and Encore. The wife likes Vegas too. She's all good with it?
Oh, the wife loves Vegas. The wife took my love for Vegas and accelerated me wanting to continue to go back to Vegas. I married an LA girl. I'm from Michigan. I'm from the Midwest. So Vegas to us is like, maybe you get out there once a year. Maybe you do it, every other year. But when I got here, my wife was like, we go to Vegas. Like, I've been going to Vegas. She's like, I've been going to Vegas since I was like 10 or 11. My dad playing blackjack and poker with his buddies. And me and my mom were out at the old Treasure Island when they had the arcade over there. She was like, that's what I remember about Vegas. So I love Vegas. And she actually asked me, like, when's the next time we can get to go to Vegas? So once everything calms down a little bit and we can get on our little Southwest flight out of Burbank, we are back there.
Oh, that's a little secret. Don't tell too many people about that Burbank trip. That's way easier than LAX.
That is way easier than LAX. It is so easy out of Burbank. It is so easy.
Yeah. We got a lot of listeners, but use LAX or Orange County. Don't use Burbank because those flights.
Don't use Burbank.
Yeah.
No, don't use Burbank. Nobody likes those flights anyway. They're mean at that airport.
Oh yeah, very, very. So you're from the Midwest, right? Michigan?
Yeah, born and raised, Kalamazoo, Michigan. Same city as Western Michigan where I went to school.
Oh, okay. So let's just go right into it. Kalamazoo, Western Michigan kid going to the hometown school, MACtion, Western Mich. Does anyone call it Western Mich there, or do we kind of take that and do it?
You guys take that and run with it. Nobody calls it Western Mich because then you'd have to call Eastern Michigan, Eastern Mich, and then Central Mich, and we don't talk about those schools anyway.
Yeah, none of that shit works. Yeah, it's like calling San Francisco San Fran. Nobody does that. Like, Chi-Town. Nobody calls Chicago Chi-Town. So, yeah,
right.
It's not Western Mich. What position did you play?
I was a safety. I mostly was a baseball player. Wasn't that good at football. Dabbled a little bit for a couple years, and then baseball was paying the bills. They were paying the scholarships. So There came a point where I went to the coach at the time, Bill Cubitt. I don't know if you guys remember him, but he was the HC, and I was just like, put me on full scholarship over here in football, or I'm going to go where the Bills are getting paid, and I'm an all-conference outfielder. And we made the transition over to baseball full-time after that, after my second year.
Okay. Center field?
Center field.
Bat left?
I'm left-handed, bat left, throw left, I could run. So they were like, you hang out there.
40 time?
We didn't run 40s. We ran 60s.
60s.
But
What'd you run?
We ran 60s. I was a 6'6" guy in 60s, which is above average speed.
Yeah,
so,
that's pretty good. The boy could move. Yeah.
The boy can move, and I'm not a small boy. Like whenever we get to meet in person, I go about 6'2", 230. So I was a bigger dude that could move.
That's fantastic. I always hang out with bigger guys. That's the way I played hockey. I was always the guy on the ice that talked all the time, but the big guys came over and took care of things. I got Mo next to me. You and Mo will be almost eye to eye. That'll be perfect. It's going to be a lot of fun for sure.
And we can just parade around that new Circa beautiful looking Sportsbook together when that thing is when I'm out there again.
Yeah, it's a good place. We got the hookups there. We got some places to go.
Yep.
So when you're in school, like, did you pay attention to point spreads at all? Like, were you born into this, or did you grow into this? You know, because we're going to get to Fox Bet Live here in a second. But, like, did you pay attention to that while you were in school?
We paid attention to it, but not close enough to where it could have impacted anything. You know, we always knew, like, who was the favorite, who was the underdog in that game, how big. You know, we didn't know. We knew who was projected to win. We knew who was projected to lose. But as far as getting into the nitty gritty, we had a few guys on our team that knew about it a little bit more in depth than I did. I think every team does, no matter like where you go. So, you know, we go into a game and we're like, you know, I remember my freshman year, we were going to Michigan. You know, we were playing at the big house. You know, you get on the bus, you go down I-94 the night before, you know, 90 minutes down the road, and you're at least supposed to get beat by 3 to 4 touchdowns. Like, you know, at that point, I'm probably, you know, the blue at that point was probably laying somewhere in the 35-point range. But I didn't know that going in. I'm just like 18 years old, and I'm looking around, and there's 110,000 people, and I'm supposed to catch a punt? Like, what do you expect from me right now? Like, and it's warm-ups. I wasn't even getting in the game. I'm just looking around.
Oh, was that the biggest game? Like, what was your biggest memory of playing in a stadium like that? Was that the game for you, or did you have a baseball memory or something that really sticks out, or both?
I got to see two really awesome places when I played those sports, like at Michigan. You know, growing up in Michigan, even though I didn't grow up a Michigan fan, I grew up an Ohio State fan because my dad's from Cleveland. So he raised me an Ohio State fan in Michigan. But I grew up going to Michigan Ohio State games at the big house. So getting to set foot on that field in uniform one time was something I'll never be able to forget. And then my freshman year of baseball, my first game was at Ole Miss. And if you guys know about SEC baseball and how those SEC fans treat their baseball, it's Friday night. The fans are liquored up. I'm a freshman out in center field. They're drinking beer on the left field pavilion out there, yelling at me, "Dickerson, you fucking freshman." And I'm like, hey, what's going on, guys? You know, it started from Friday where they were yelling at me. By Sunday, I had been like interacting with them enough during the games. They're asking me to come out for a beer after the game. Like, we like you, Dickerson. You're cool. You can come out and hang out with us. So two of those spots, icons, you know, iconic places across both of those sports is memories that are still etched in my head to this day and that I'll never forget. And I'm lucky that I got to experience those.
That's fantastic. So was there any real, you know, pursuing playing career for you after school?
Yeah, well, actually, out of high school, I got drafted by the Mariners. Out of high school, I got drafted by the Seattle Mariners in the 27th round of the 2002 draft. There's always the saying, you don't go pro for less than what double college is worth. So at the time, the financials didn't make sense for me to go play pro ball.
Okay.
I wasn't getting, so say college is worth 40, you don't sign for less than 80, and I wasn't anywhere near that dollar amount coming out of high school. Go to school, get beat up along the whole way there. Don't get drafted out of college. Play a year of independent ball, professional independent ball. You know, making $1,000 a month. I did it for 2 summers. Where
Where
you
at?
know, you're
Where did you play?
Traverse City, Michigan, for the Traverse City Beach Bums of the Frontier League.
Hello.
And so luckily, the team that I got put on had like the best financial backers in the whole league. Like we had a beautiful stadium, beautiful clubhouse. We got treated better than anywhere else. The 13-hour bus rides, you know, I did those, you know, like what do you see those old minor leaguers like, you know, traveling through the night to go to the next stadium. Did that for 2 years. Then I was 24 years old in the off season, living at home with my parents, giving hitting lessons in Kalamazoo, Michigan. And I had a degree, and it was time to get a big boy job after that. And I was lucky enough to land a gig at ESPN, and off to Connecticut I went.
Wow, so that was the first move, was Connecticut and ESPN.
Yep.
Which,
yep.
Man, a lot of layoffs and stuff going on there. That a lot of things happening. How was your experience there?
My experience at ESPN was great. It gave me my start in the, you know, TV, internet, whatever business you want to call it I'm in now. I started off as just a production assistant, grinding my way up. Got lucky enough to get put on Baseball Tonight. That's where I made my name. That's where I cut my teeth for 5 years. Then an opportunity came up there like, hey, do you want to move to LA? I'm like, yeah, let's go. You know, like I had given up my gone, and like, you're paying for me to move to LA? Like, I'm out of here. I'm in Bristol, Connecticut. What do you think? So, you know, they moved me to LA. I had done my late 20s single in Connecticut. I was like, I got to go to LA. Moved to LA, boom. 3 months, I meet my wife, and I was never single in LA, never got to experience it.
Oh, she got you that quick. You fell that fast. You went from Traverse City to Bristol, Connecticut. You get the palm trees, you get LA, and you get locked down in 3 months?
3 months. Didn't take long at all. Didn't take long. She walks in. I'm like, who are you? 7 years later, we got 2 kids and we're married, and I got a big, beautiful house with her in Woodland Hills in the suburbs.
Oh, that's wonderful. So,
oh yeah.
So you go to LA. All right, you're going from me. Did you go to Fox right then?
No, I came to LA for ESPN.
Oh.
So when they moved Sports Nation to LA with Carissa Thompson and Marcellus Wiley in 2013, I came out as the producer on that show. Was with ESPN out here for 4 months, and then you kind of started hearing those rumors of Fox Sports starting to start a sports entertainment, a sports channel. And one day, the guy that was the producer of Sports Center and with Neil and Stan Sports Center that I'm watching right now, the guy that was the producer walks by me one day. He taps me on the shoulder and goes, "Hey, I'm going to Fox. I'll call you later today."
Just like that.
And walked away and walked past me. And I was like, all right. And you can ask Neil about him. You can ask Neil about the guy. I won't say his name out here. And walks past me. No bullshit. My phone rings 3 hours later. Like, hey, I'm going to Fox. I'm going to run their new football show on Fox Sports 1. I need to bring you in with me. Rest is history. I'm off at Fox.
Done.
Oh, walked in, talked to like 3 or 4 people. We all had mutual friends. It was like, are we doing this? We're doing this? Okay, cool. Get the paperwork out. Let's do it.
That's it. So do you know Neil?
Yeah, I know Neil. I played in Neil's Neil does that great softball tournament every year for the veterans and stuff. I played in that 2 or 3 times. Know Neil well. He's a good friend of mine. I used to run the teleprompter for him and SVP every night back in like 2008, 2009 back in Bristol.
Oh, that's fantastic. Those guys are great. Yeah, they're
great.
Awesome.
I'm watching Neil right now. I'm like watching him and Stan go through their show.
It's fantastic.
Oh yeah.
So you make this move. You get the call. I mean, like, we joke about getting the call or like getting the play or like, you know, it's me. Like, you get the call and boom, you're gone. You show up at Fox Sports and you get the betting show right away?
Not right away. So back in 2013, when I leave to go to Fox, they were doing a thing called Fox Sports Live, which was Fox's version of Sports Center. This is where I meet Furman and Clay Travis. So my boss at the time, we were trying to figure out how we were going to be different from Sports Center and ESPN. Nobody was doing gambling on cable in 2013. Nobody was. So we had this idea. Furman, nobody knew who he was. He was doing, digital videos for Don Best at the time, just talking with them. And Clay had just started doing, starting to get like a national radio show. And it was like, what can we do around like quick segments, 2 to 3 minutes? We'll do an NFL, we'll do a college football one, and we'll be out and we'll like try to sneak in under the radar and hope nobody really sees us and maybe distribute 1 or 2 things on Twitter. So we started doing those and they gained a little bit of traction. We're going. And then during the NCAA tournament, we were actually at the Westgate in 2014, where we did a live release of the lines for the round of 64 from the Westgate.
There.
We did them live.
I was there.
Live on our show. Jeff and all those guys out there at the Westgate hooked us up. Me, Carissa Thompson, Todd, Clay. We were out there. We went out there for the initial weekend, and it went so good. They were like, "You guys want to come back again?" So I ended up staying in Vegas. I went there for initially 4 nights. I ended up staying there for 13 nights through the first and second round at the Westgate. So I leave after like 14 days and, eyes peeled open, ready to go. Done. I'm sitting in like that back room in that back. I haven't been to the Westgate in a couple years, but I'm in the back room in the book in that back like glassed in room back in like 2014 in the corner.
Yes.
Just hanging out. Like they blocked that off for Furman, Clay, and myself and Carissa. And we were just sitting there all day because all we were doing, we were taping 3 or 4 minute segments for a show at night. That's it.
So you sat there and watched things and just did the whole experience right there.
Right there, bringing us beers and like, let's go tape the segment. Let's go. We're going over there taping segments. Carissa's walking in from around the corner. Carissa was like staying at the Palazzo at the time, so she's late. She's over there, but it was a good experience. But right after that, like we had plans to do a lot more. We were like going to do some stuff out at the Red Rock that following fall for college football. And then we started doing focus groups and people didn't understand the space at that time. And everything got nixed and shut down until FAFSA got overturned in 18. And then that's when we were off and running with the Fox Bet show.
Wow. So, I mean, you almost had to sneak it in. Like you said, it wasn't really accepted. Nobody was doing it. All right. So, I saw you guys at the Westgate, and I wanted to really be a part of that and all that stuff you had going on. But, I mean, going back to, Fox Bet Live and you working there, so you don't work there anymore. I mean, who's the biggest pain in the ass of those 3?
Furman.
Easy. Man, oh, man.
Yeah, Furman, he's such a robot. And, like, when we started doing the show, and, Todd and I, we had a relationship. Clay had a relationship. He didn't know Rachel and Sal for nothing, right? So we're talking about the show, and Furman's like, we're going to do, like, a serious, like, sports betting show, right? And I'm like, yeah. Sure, if you think so. Like he's sitting there thinking we're going to be crunching numbers and win probability and money coming in, and I'm like, Todd, nobody knows what the hell we're talking about.
Exactly. Like
nobody knows. Like we can't go in and talk over people's heads. So when we go in and like we're doing stuff, and Todd and I love Todd for this because he's such a stickler because he cares so much about the space and everything that is done, and he wants proper education for everything. But he's like, and he comes to me and he goes, Royce, this is the book you're making us use? I can go across town and get that same price for 10 cents cheaper. Why can't I use that number here? I'm like, Todd, it's a TV show. He goes, no, it's a competition. I go, great. Do you want 3 minus 20 or do you want to buy the half a point? What do you want, Todd? Like, he goes, so what are the rules on buying points? I was like, I don't know. I'm judge, jury, and executioner. You want to buy a half a point, 20 cents, okay?
Nice.
He goes, well, no, over here, I'm like, Todd, I'm not in Vegas. I can't walk over to stations and give you that number right now. You can't go get it here. We use a book. This is the one we've agreed on. We have a partnership with them. We're using this book. I don't like how I'm going to be pigeonholed to one book. I'm like, I get that you should shop around for prices, Todd. You should have multiple books at all times to get the best available price. We're using this number. So
he had to be dying because he's not like that's great.
No. And so like and everything like he preaches like education and being smart about where you put your money, and I'm telling him like, no, you have to use this book. And I'm like, so do you want this bet or not? We've talked about it for 40 minutes. He goes, No, I'm going to find something else. But I love him for that. Like, I really do love him for that because he cares so much and he wants to do things the right way. It just became a pain in the ass when I text him for 45 minutes on something and then he goes a different way and I'm like working through a way to get through him. Right. Yeah, he wants to change it, but that's firm. He's a great dude in that respect.
That's fantastic. So what do you miss more? Do you miss listening to Clay or the meetings after the show?
The best part about our show is that Clay's on remote. He's in Nashville. So when the show's done, I can literally walk away and turn his camera off and I don't have to talk to him anymore. So Clay's one of the hardest workers I know because Clay's already been up and done a 3-hour radio show by the time he even gets to doing our show, like Fox Bet Live in the afternoon. So everything that we're usually talking about on the show, he's already talked about and prepped for. So Clay, he'll send an email in, let's just say because I'm looking at the board right here, and we're talking about Philadelphia and Green Bay because the Eagles, I just can't get them out of my head, and we'll probably get to that a little more. I'm like, Clay, Green Bay, depending, opened at 7, now it's, 8.5, 9 across the board. Should they be that big of favorites, this weekend against the Eagles? And he'll just reply back, no. Clay, I need a little bit more so we can prepare graphics and get videotape ready for you.
No.
And all this stuff. He goes, no, I already talked about that earlier. I don't need to write this down in my email. And then me and my producer would be sitting there and Clay will say something really good that would have played really good with video. And we're like, Clay, if you tell me that earlier, I'll put you in a box with Carson Wentz looking like hell. And it's a good visual when you're talking about Carson Wentz looking like hell. And he goes, yeah, I didn't know what I was going to say at the time. So I just kind of rolls and I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. Idiot savant type stuff. So, okay, I got it.
So tell everybody what you're doing now. Like you text me and say you're moving, you're doing this, you're going to EA Sports. And immediately I'm thinking, oh, he got to be doing Madden stuff. He's doing Madden stuff, right? Like, what are you doing at EA Sports right now?
Yeah, right now, I've been having a hard time explaining it to people because it's video games. So we're talking video games here. I'm in charge of broadcasting video games. So I'm now part of the competitive gaming group at EA Sports where we broadcast Madden pros, guys that are pros at playing video games, against each other. So the way that we set it up, it's just like you're turning on Fox NFL Sunday. You're going to get a pregame show. You're going to get a game. You're going to get a halftime show. You're going to get a postgame show. But it's just guys playing video games of football instead of actual people playing football. And learning this space is incredible. The passion that the community has for this game is unreal. It is unbelievable. Like you're sitting there and you're broadcasting on Twitch and YouTube on Tuesday nights, and you look down and there's 50,000 people watching people play video games.
What?
And you're like, people are legitimately sitting at home watching a live stream of Twitch or YouTube of other people playing video games.
Never would have
guessed. And you're putting clips on YouTube after that are getting 100,000 views on YouTube after this. And you're like, this is just people playing video games, and we're small in the grand scheme of esports. You have these other games that I've learned like Dota 2 and Apex, where they literally will have, because we're domestic. Like Madden is a domestic property because it's football, it's American football. Right. But the other day, our FIFA product, our EA FIFA product, had 250,000 people worldwide watching a live stream.
Oh my God!
So this is a whole nother space that I'm learning that I had no idea about, and I had no idea how big it is. I've been at it for 2.5 months now. I've learned so much in the past 2.5 months, and it's crazy how much this is blowing my mind.
What we're going to have to maybe start talking about is instituting making lines for these matchups. Yeah. You got an odds maker. We can talk about this, and we can provide lines for the shows and things like that. Just thinking out loud. Because I'm making lines every day for everything.
We'll see. Like the gambler in me, I'm talking to my analysts who are former professional video game players, and I'm like, who's supposed to win this game? Oh, player A is supposed to win this game. And I'm like, by a lot? How much you thinking here? What are you doing? Like, what are we doing? And they're like, what do you like? You mean like a point spread? I'm like, yeah, like, you know, you have this guy named, like, and they all go by gamer tags, which is great. Like, nobody knows anybody's real name in this space. Like,
Nice.
Everybody goes by, you're at Sportsbook Consig.
Right.
So people would just say, like, hey, yeah, Consig's playing Royce 3D tonight, and Consig's, he's supposed to win this game. He'll probably win by 10 or 15 points.
I love it. That's
I'm like,
fantastic.
I'm asking my guys, I'm like, hey, so who's supposed to win this game? Little Tony or D-Croft? What do we got here? I'm like trying to get angles in inside the game. So it's fun. It's fun to get into that stuff.
So if someone wants to watch this, where do they find it? If we're going to,
They find it on the EA Madden channels on YouTube and Twitch.
Okay.
So YouTube and Twitch, find the EA Madden NFL channels. Right now, one of the shows we're doing, we actually got Derwin James, safety for the Los Angeles Chargers. He's part of our shows on Tuesday nights. He is an unbelievable Madden player. He's as good a Madden player as these pro guys that play in these tournaments. And we have a show called Derwin James versus the World, where people like other celebrities come on and try to beat him in Madden, and he dump trucks them. Like, I mean, by like 50. Like, he just like blows them out like every day, every week. Like our marketing department who books the guests for the Derwin James versus the World Show, they say, hey, this guy's like, we had Trayvon Diggs on last week of the Cowboys.
Right.
Like, Trayvon's a really good Madden player. I'm like, guys, you said everybody that's come on has been a really good Madden player, and I'll say it in the meeting. I'll go, Derwin minus 28.5. Who wants that?
Give me some action.
Give me some action. I got 100 for you right here. I got Derwin and laying the points. So
That is
YouTube
awesome.
and Twitch Tuesday nights. We have a good time. It's fun. It's been a lot more fun and a lot more laps than I thought it was going to be. So only going to get better from here on out.
Oh, that's fantastic, man. Well, it's good to hear. It's good that, you make a move like that at this point in your life. And, it's so far off to a good start. Obviously, we wish you the best in that. That's good stuff.
Appreciate it.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for the interview portion of the show. He is Royce Dickerson at Royce3D. EA Sports, video games, making lines. It sounds like so much fun. And actually, I can't wait to tell my kids, to show me how to do it, because I never watch anything on Twitch, and the thought of me watching someone else play video games is ridiculous. But now that I know you're involved, I'm going to actually tune in on Tuesday night. That's a good night because there ain't really much going on.
It's almost like we planned it that way, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Really good.
It's almost like there was some thought that went into that there, huh?
All right, well, format for the rest of the show, and we are on the clock, is going to be the run and shoot 7 plus a 2-point conversion. We got, I believe, 9 games. We don't have a Mo 2-minute drill, so we got 2 minutes buyback there to then do laying and taking, which will be the college portion of the show. And then we'll take a minute and get out of here on time. So I mentioned at the beginning of the show, we don't have at Heed These Takes. Before we move on, I totally forgot to read. Be sure to sign up for the weekly Gaming Today newsletter, which highlights the latest stories from the sports betting and casino industry world. All you have to do is put your email address in the box on the gamingtoday.com homepage. Thank you. There it is. I got the look. For those of you watching on YouTube, I didn't have to be told anything. I just got the stare down. And he was like, the fucking read. I forgot to read. There it is.
I was just about to put it in the chat when you got to it, and I was like,
I know. I saw the lean in. So he is I am Reynolds 2305 on Twitter. Mo is not here at Heed These Takes on Twitter. The show is at GT Cash Consider on Twitter. And running the GT Cash Consider Twitter handle is at Carl Hascall, who is down there sitting to my left. Carl, big time, baby. Look at you. You got the backdrop. He's got the call-up Moonlight Graham. David Ayers, the goalie. Welcome, sir. How are you this evening?
I'm fantastic. I'm a little cold. I just want to let you know we're supposed to get 48 inches of snow tonight, so not happy about that.
Yeah. Carl is up in New Hampshire, just cranking it out, doing his thing, and 3 guys are not anywhere near that cold place. So you can enjoy the show. Take a picture, post it on Twitter tomorrow. of you shoveling the driveway, anything like that, Royce, myself, and Reynolds will give you a big shout out and attaboy, good job. All right, fellas, we got football to talk about. It's the Run and Shoot 7. This is what we do every week. We look at games, we look at lines, we give picks if we want. We don't have to. Just a quick take here and there. We got a former player. He played in college. He played baseball. Carl, did you have a high school career at all, sports-wise?
Very briefly. It was pretty similar to Royce's career, except I topped out at 12 years old.
Oh, there you go. All right.
Yeah, I was really good at 12.
Smoky. All right. Well, you don't have to play to know the game and the lines. So let's start with the two. We're going to go from least to beast, the 7. But before we do, we kicked an onside kick, and we're going to go for the 2-point conversion first because I got the 2 games with the star, and I don't know where to put them, so I'm going first with them. The first one of those, Saints-Falcons. Saints are -3 even. The total is 46. Man, the Saints are 9-2, 6-5 against the number against the Falcons, who are 4-7 and 5-6 against the number. Royce, EA Sports guy, LA guy. Start us off. Saints-Falcons, side total. What do you got?
I'm going to go with the Falcons here. I'm going to take the Falcons.
Winner? Outright winner?
I think there's a chance for an outright winner here because the Falcons aren't good until nothing matters to them anymore. That's the only time they're any good. So give me the Falcons.
Okay.
Plus the points. Chance to win late with a kick.
Wow. Gave us the play-by-play there. I mean, shit, this is like we're on Twitch. That was excellent. You're setting the bar really high, Royce. I'm a little worried.
Carl, I'm ready. I'm prepared.
Carl, this is your list. At % Berg, Alan Berg used to do the list. I mean, Reynolds said it off the air. He's not with us. He's dead to us right now. So we can't talk. He did the formula, but he really fucked it up. A little bit of pressure. Now you get on the show. You get the call up. Saints, Falcons, side total, anything.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Royce a little bit here, but I don't think the Falcons are good enough to have a chance here against New Orleans. I think New Orleans is a pretty good team, and I'm gonna lay them here. I'm going with the Saints with this one.
All right, this is the second of 3 road games in a row for the Saints. They had a layup last week when
bye week.
Royce, they could have called you to play quarterback. For God's sakes.
They could have.
Yeah, I don't know how your wing is. If you can still throw it, I'm sure you still got the arm. Yeah.
I can still sling it.
Okay. So they should have called you because what they did was a joke. I think the Falcons are live here too. I would side with the Falcons +3 and live on the money line. I like that. The other star game, and this is Broncos-Chiefs. The Chiefs, actually, a move came today, fellas, on the Broncos. That line dropped 13.5. Totals 51, which is right around the opener. I'll kick this one off real quick. Chiefs are 10-1, 6-5 against the spread, and this is another get-right game for the Chiefs. I am willing to lay it. I'm not buying this bullshit that the Broncos are mad about COVID. Drew Lock, Patrick Mahomes. Who do you want? I don't think it's enough points. That's where I'm at. I'll swing it back to you, CC, Carl Hascall, coordinating producer, Carl, CPC. That's the way you're going.
There you go.
What do you got?
Yeah, I'm with you on this one. Denver's lost 4 times by more than 2 touchdowns.
Yes.
This week's going to be number 5. This looks like it's a lock for me.
Royce, what do you think?
Lay it or don't play it. Like this is like
That's nice here.
You got to do it. Like under 2 touchdowns. If I can get Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City at home at night, a little bit of crowd in Kansas City. They're allowing a crowd there.
Yeah.
So under 2 touchdowns, Patty Mahomes. I know they didn't finish that game in Tampa Bay last week. That's strong. Let Tampa stay in it too long. They should have beat Tampa by 14 points last week. Tyreek Hill and Patrick Mahomes got right last week together in that passing game. Hill, 251 yards.
Yes.
I was playing against him in fantasy. I had Patrick Mahomes. I'm like, this is great. And all of a sudden you look up and Tyreek Hill has 51 goddamn points and you lose the game in fantasy. So I'm not chapped about that or anything. So,
No, not at all.
But, under 2 touchdowns, you lay it or don't play it because can you, like you said, Drew Lock, are you really going to feel comfortable taking the points with Drew Lock against Patrick Mahomes? You can't
Not
do it.
for me. No chance.
Nope.
All right, we're in agreement. Probably watch Denver driving to tie the game late. The way we're all of us in agreement. Number 7, least the beast. Bengals, Dolphins. Man, oh man, Carl, you so nailed it with the top 5 reasons why we had to delay the show a week. And number 1 was Mo, and the picture of a guy getting his haircut was Russell Wilson, but it could have been his brother. I swear to God, it was Mo. He ain't here to talk about the Bengals and the Dolphins, but we got Dolphins minus 10.5. The total's 42.5. It's a low number.
Ooh.
The Bengals 2-8-1, 7-4 against the spread, though. The Dolphins 7-4, 8-3 against the number. Royce, swing it back, brother. What do you got here?
In these situations, and I'm totally blaming Furman for what I'm about to say here, so if I'm wrong.
Anytime you can blame Furman, this is great. Do it.
So I'm just going to blame Furman. This is one of the things where, because he taught me a lot about this space. He taught me a lot about how to do this. Dog and under. Let's go.
Sharp.
I want the dog. I don't want the under. I want that 10-42 dog and under here. Let's go. Let's go Bengals. Who's playing quarterback for Brandon Allen this week? Tua or Fitzpatrick? Like, who cares? Who cares who's playing quarterback? Doesn't matter. Just don't give up points. We got dog and under. Here we go.
I second everything he said. Carl, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm right there too. The only thing is I'm not sure about Allen, and you're not sure who's playing quarterback for Miami. You do know who's playing quarterback for Cincinnati. I don't think any of the quarterbacks are going to be good in this game. I'm passing on this altogether.
Okay. All right. Number 6. It's again, is it one good team against a really shit team? I mean, kind of like that game was. We got Raiders minus 8.5 at the Jets, total 47. I mean, the Raiders are 6-5, 7-4 against the number. The Jets still haven't won, by the way. This just in. 0-11, 3-8 against the number. I guess it's my turn to kick it off. I hate this game. I don't want to touch this game. I'm not betting this game, and I'm not using this game in the contest. If I had to, you can't get me interested in the Jets until we get to 10. So, like Billy Bob said, in 10, it's a 10. I need 10. It ain't going to be 10. I'm taking the Raiders. Royce, Raiders, Jets, anything?
Give me dog and under again here. Here's why. Again, back-to-back weeks going to the East Coast for the Raiders. They go to Atlanta last week.
Didn't they stay? I think they stayed.
Did they stay?
East. I think they stayed.
Well, guess who didn't stay back east? The quarterback. The quarterback for the Raiders just had a little baby girl this week. He had to come back.
Ooh.
So did he miss some time and some preparation this week? Some travel, some extra travel? I saw Derek Carr say we had our baby girl this week, and it was Monday. So
there you go.
I don't like the Raiders going east. They've never done well going east. Every time they go east, they're in a dogfight or they're getting boat raced. Oh, I feel so dirty for taking the Jets again, too. I've taken some really bad teams so far. I've taken the Bengals, and now I'm taking the Jets. Should tell you how my contest picks are going for me this year that I keep taking. They keep landing on the side of these garbage teams. So, the dirty part of me wants to say dog and under again.
Okay. Well, our guy back east, in the division, you've seen this Jets team up close and personal. They're just terrible. What do you think?
Here's the thing. Which Raiders team is going to show up? Is it going to be the team that got their asses kicked by 37 points last week, or is it going to be the team that beat Kansas City? You don't know. They're all over the place. I'm just staying away. I know it's the Jets. I know this should be a blowout, but I just don't trust the Raiders right now.
Okay. That's a very fair assessment. Monday night.
Hey, Dave, before we move on, I was going to get this in the chat, but we're going to move on here. Raiders didn't stay back east is what I'm seeing. That was their original plan, but then something got changed with COVID, so they came back to Vegas and are now heading back out.
Oh, shit. All right.
Let me tell you how many times I've had to get in Furman, Clay's, or Sal's, or Bonetta's there and be like, hey, wrong. Correct yourself. No.
It happened.
Huh? Like, what? I'm like, wrong.
I didn't know.
Wrong year, wrong team.
Yeah. There you go.
Keep it moving.
There you
We're
go.
good.
Keep it moving. Keep it moving right there. That's it. That's the signal. Shit. Well, all right. So they went back. Now I like the Jets. God damn it. I can't believe I said that. I actually
Yeah, there you go. I know.
come get there, get dirty, get ugly, take the Jets. Ugly game here. Bills Niners. Man, the move, big move. It's pick 'em. It opened 2.5. This game is pick solid. Big play, big money coming in on the Niners. Totals around 48. I have no dog in this fight. I don't know what to expect. I think the Niners have belief. They win a game against the Rams last week. I think at 5-6, they're still thinking we got a shot to make the playoffs. We're still playing. I still don't know. I don't think the Bills are good, and they got the Steelers on deck next week. Coming out west, this one feels like home team to me. But Carl?
Yeah, I'm going to go the opposite way here. I think Buffalo, first of all, San Francisco, other than beating the Rams, they haven't beat anybody. They won 5 games, but they beat the Patriots, who are not good. They beat the Jets. They beat the Giants. Not good teams. I'm going to go with Buffalo here.
Okay. Royce, deciding vote. Anything? Side total?
Oh, pick 'em. Wow, that's.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of travel, especially with the Bills having to go back and forth. Arizona, come back home, play the Chargers, who might be the second worst coach team in the league, behind the Jets, who just might be the second worst coach team in the league. Anthony Lynn, how that team is that bad. Different tangent. Give me the Niners.
Okay.
I think Kyle Shanahan, what he's doing, he's got that team motivated. They got a little bit healthy last week. Getting some guys back. I think with the way Shanahan is scheming right now, I home team for me. Yeah, I gotta take the Niners in the spot.
Okay. Here's a tough game. I knew this one was going to make the list, and I really don't know what to do with it. I swear this is Colts -3 at Houston. Texans, the total is 50.5. Colts are 7-4, only 6-5 against the number. Texans are both 4-7 against the number and straight up. This is a battle. This number is right. I have no idea. Royce, what are you thinking?
This is one of those lines where I look at it and you're like, what do you mean? Like, of course the Colts should win by more than 3. Like, of course they should. And you're like, it's too easy. It feels like a sucker bet. I don't think I touch this game unless I have it in a teaser leg somewhere. It's tough for me now. If I were on this game, I'm taking Houston out to 10.5, 7-point teaser, pair it up with somebody else.
You just
just asking me to get over the 10, but if you're asking me to just play this number, play 3.5, it's like a sucker. Like, you're sucking me into that number. I'm out. I'm going to take Houston on a teaser somewhere if I'm going to play this game at all.
Carl, what do you think?
Yeah, I think Houston's looked really good the last 2 weeks, but it was really good against the Patriots and really good against the Lions. Indy's better than both of these teams. I don't know if I like the number, but if I had to pick, I'm going with Indy in this one.
Okay. Number 3 on the list. You can see it right here on my hat. For those of you watching the feed on YouTube, the Pittsburgh Steelers coming off a Wednesday midday game against the Ravens at home. Late backdoor cover by the Ravens. Steelers are still 11-0, 8-3 against the number against the Washington football team. 4-7, 6-5 against the number. I'm going to go last. I'm going to defer to Carl first. You put the game on the list. I was thinking it should have been maybe number 2 or number 1, but I'm biased. So you doing the list is better for the show, 100%. What do you like in this game?
Yeah, I'm afraid this is a trap game for the Steelers, to be honest with you. Not that I don't think they're going to lose the game outright, but I think Washington's going to stay tough in this game. I'm concerned that Pittsburgh beat the JV team in Baltimore last week by 5 points. And, I think Washington can hang a little bit, but I don't think they're going to win, but I think they might stay within the 7, but I'm probably going to stay away from this one.
Okay. The total open, the look-ahead line was 10. And I do another show with a guy named Brad Howe. It's called Game Within the Game. It's sponsored by DraftKings, and we do it on Mondays. And he asked me to look ahead and give you where the lines are going to move. And I've been seeing it really, really good all season. And I saw that number, and I said 10 is a joke. That has to be an auto play on Washington. No matter what happens Wednesday, it's still too much. I think Washington has a professional quarterback. They have a great defensive line. They're going to provide pressure without blitzing, and that's where Ben turns the ball over. The Steelers can't run the ball. They just make no bones about it. They're 11-0, and they don't have a running game whatsoever. I think this is a tight game. This could be the one that actually takes them down. This could be the loss. I take Washington 2 plus the points. Royce, do you see it like we see it?
I do. Give me football team here. Extended time off. Haven't played since Thanksgiving. Steelers are going into a gauntlet time now where they didn't know what was going on. Like, so now they're playing Wednesday. They're playing Monday. Back again on Sunday. So they're in a bad spot right now. I think their heads, even this game on Wednesday, they were a little all over the place. They didn't really know, like, it didn't look like they were in the flow of the game. And I get that. You're supposed to play on Thursday. You're supposed to play on Sunday, Monday. You finally end up playing on a Wednesday. Routines are off. Routines are going to be off again for the second week in a row. Give me the football team here, and I might almost split my wager up here, and sprinkle a little bit on that money line for football team here to go along with it.
Okay. That's what he does. He comes on the show, picks against the Steelers, baby. And it's just,
There you go.
hey, it's business. It's not personal. I'm good with it. I think the plus the points is live, and I know the Steelers aren't going undefeated. There's a bet in town you can lay minus $5 or take $4 that they're going undefeated. They ain't going undefeated. I think the Jets have a better chance. I'll ask you guys both this question. What is more likely, the Steelers to go undefeated or the Jets to go winless? Royce, what do you got?
Jets winless.
It can happen, right?
I don't think it can happen. I think it's happening. I don't know how that team figures out a way to beat anybody. Like, they're going to be catching – at minimum, they got to be catching a touchdown for the rest of the season, no matter where they go.
What if –
they're not going to win.
Carl, what if the last game of the season
Ugh.
you know who it's against?
Oh, I know. It's a month away, and I'm already dreading it. I am really, really concerned that the Jets are going to go 1-15 with a win in week 17.
It's very, very possible. We're going to have to keep track of that.
Yep.
Well, let's hope they break their cherry before then, because that one's going to be brutal if that's the game that they win. Number 2, beast at least, Rams, Cardinals. This is our neck of the woods here out west, Royce. Rams was -3 even before we started the show. It's already trickled down to -2.5. Totals dropping 48. Rams 7-4, 6-5 against the number. Cardinals have it flipped 6-5, 5-6 against the number. I think the Rams got the best defense in the league. And it feels like a super, super public play on a dog here with Arizona. And my man Sammy P at SP Shoot does a show at Chicken Dinner. He has a guy that he calls the bartender. And the bartender gives out picks because he makes plays. The bartender's not good at this. When the bartender gives you a play, he's like an 80%er where he wins 20%, but he loses 80. His play this week, fellas, is the Cardinals. Give me the Rams for it all of it. Carl, you've been paying attention on Twitter. You're getting a little following yourself. You know the deal.
Yep.
Are you going to pick against the bartender?
I'm going to pick against the bartender.
What?
I got to. I mean, Arizona's a Hail Murray away from losing 4 in a row.
Yes.
And going up against the Rams, I'm sorry. I got a cousin out in Arizona. Hi, Ryan. I'm sorry, but your team's going to lose again this week. I'm taking
Ryan, there you go. There you have it. Royce, the Rams, real deal, right?
You said something on Twitter a few weeks ago that I agreed with more, that I agree with a lot. Why aren't the Rams being talked about more as the favorite to come out of the NFC?
They could.
What Sean McVay is doing with that team, they have no business doing this. They don't. I feel like on offense, he is willing that team to wins every week. I know they took a bad L last week against the San Francisco 49ers. By the way, Kyle Shanahan just has something on Sean McVay.
He does.
I don't know what it is. He owns the guy. Like, he's in his head. I don't know what it is. There's 2 guys that are in Sean McVay's head. It's Brian Flores and it's Kyle Shanahan. Those 2 guys are just grinding back to the Super Bowl when the Patriots, like, flummoxed the Rams. Like, those 2 guys are in his head.
Did he just say
Take
flummoxed?
those games out of
He said flummoxed.
flummoxed. Yeah,
Flummoxed.
Excellent.
Is that the first time? Is that the first time that word's been used on this podcast?
100% yes.
All right. Well, people shouldn't be flummoxed on Sunday when the Rams win by 10.
There it is. Number one game on the list from least to beast. And I don't know if anyone else would have put it on the list, but Carl made it number one. And I don't even question this list anymore. It comes to me via text. It goes right to the show notes. That's it. We got Cleveland Browns at the Tennessee Titans. The Cleveland Browns are 8-3, but they're only 4-7 against the number.
Yep.
The Titans are 8-3 as well, 5-6 against the number. The line is 5.5. The total is 53. All right, Michigan kid, you know the area, I mean, Cleveland Browns, all this stuff. Are you looking to take 5.5 with this team this week?
So I'm a Cleveland Browns fan. Mentioned
For real?
earlier, Ohio State
How are
fan.
you a
Dad
Cleveland
born-
Browns fan? That don't even make sense.
My dad was born on the west side of Cleveland. That's why I get my Ohio State fan. And my dad's from Elyria, Ohio. Big Jim Brown, Jack Tatum guy. I'm a Cleveland Browns fan. The reason I will never take Tennessee in this spot is because I can never side with anything Clay Travis says is right. Give me the Browns. I'm never going to go with Clay Travis. He likes the Tennessee Titans. That's his hometown team. If my team's going against Clay Travis's team, I'm taking my team. I'm taking the points. Even though last week I was sitting on a team total over ticket of 27.5 with the Browns. They go for it on fourth down. They say it wasn't a first down. We could have kicked the field goal. I would have been happy. But no, instead they're sitting on 27 for the rest of the game this week by the Jaguars. I'm not salty about that at all either. But in this spot, I'm taking the 5.5 with the Browns, even though they're probably going to lose by 2 touchdowns.
Carl, how do you tell the Cleveland guy you're going against them?
I'm going against them. Cleveland hasn't beat anybody good for 2 months. They beat Cincinnati, they beat Houston, they beat Philly, they beat Jacksonville by a combined total of 13 points. Those are not good. They're not good teams. Give me Tennessee.
All right. I didn't even know you were a Browns fan. I'm a Steeler fan. I remember when the Browns were good. That was fun. I was young. But the Browns, that was a real rivalry. It's not a rivalry anymore because they never win. No, it's not really.
Right.
No chance in hell. It hurts actually that Clay is liking the Tennessee Titans in this game. It actually scares me a little bit. But I'm going to side with Clay against you, Royce. I think Titans win by double digits. We'll leave it at that. All right. Well, that will wrap up the run and shoot. 7 plus 2-point conversion. Mo isn't here to do the 2-minute drill. So we're going to go laying and taking. This is just simple. It's a game. I'll give you the line. You say laying or taking. And we are on the clock, boys. So no bullshit. Just give me laying, taking, so I can go back and look at the records. Last week, Ariel Epstein kicked our ass. She goes, I don't know college football. Okay, play the game. She goes 6-3. Me and Mo go 4-5. It's perfect. Here we go. So
right.
Fully expect you guys to own this segment. Let's go. Ohio State guy. Minus 23.5 in the big house. You got people to answer to on both sides of the fence here, brother. Royce, you laying or taking 23.5?
I'm taking 23.5 with Sparty. Ohio State's only covered once this year. Big number against Nebraska. Yeah. They're not winning by they're not winning by 24 points. Not with the week that they've had.
Carl, laying, taking.
Yep. Ohio State wins, but not by that many. I'm taking.
I'll book you both. I'm laying. They've been sitting waiting to play. Let's go my school. Penn State minus 11.5 at Rutgers. Penn State won a game. It set back football 30 years, that game against Michigan. Oh, my God, it was a rough watch, but they got the dub. 11.5 on the road. I am taking. Easy. Royce?
Taking. Give me the points.
Carl?
Taken all the way.
Oh, God. Penn State by 3 touchdowns.
Penn State by 3. Sean Clifford has a career day.
Oh, here we go. Maction. We got a Maction expert here. I got a game of 2 or 3 in Maction. I'm going to let you start all of these games. First one, matchup of putrid teams. It's the Super Bowl of the shit.
Oh, it's so bad.
Oh, my God.
It's so bad.
It's Bowling Green at Akron. Minus 2.5. Holy shit. Are you laying or are you taking? You got to give me something.
I am taking knowing Akron for my entire life, and I know how bad Bowling Green is right now. I can't, on good merit, lay any points with Akron ever in college tackle football. If we're playing college tackle football and I'm betting against, and Akron's in the game, I'm betting against them. Put the number down. I'm going against them.
College tackle football, Carl. You got Akron or Bowling Green?
Yeah, I'm right there with Royce, man. No way. I'm with Royce all the way on this one.
You're taking the points with Bowling Green. They're the worst college football tackle football team in the country. I'm laying. Give me Akron, baby. Oh, my God. Let's go Ball State at Central Michigan, another directional Michigan school. Ball State is minus 2.5 on the road. What are you doing here? Carl? I mean, no. Sorry, Royce, you're first. Sorry.
I'm laying the points with Ball State. Not because I hate Central, because I do. I hate them with every fiber of my being because that's our big rival. But I'll lay the points. Ball State, Central Michigan doesn't have a quarterback. I'll lay the points. I'll lay the 2.
Carl.
Yep, right there with you. I'm laying the 2 too.
Man, this is a fun segment because I got all the opposite sides of the Maction guy. I'm taking. I don't know why. I just think I like home dogs, and they're a home dog, so we're going to take them. Now we got the game that we need to know.
The game.
This is a very, very big game. Eastern Michigan at Western Michigan. The number is 14. Now, I hope you tell everyone about this podcast at GT Cash Consider. You got on it. You were talking. We had fun. You tell everybody what you're doing in this game. Laying or taking?
I'm laying the points with the Broncos. Tough game last week against Northern Illinois. We never played Northern Illinois good. Something about Northern Illinois, when they come up from the cab, I don't know what it is. When we go down there, things go wrong, things go bad. That's why Northern Illinois almost won last week outright, catching nearly 3 touchdowns. This week, Caleb Ellaby, Dwayne Eskridge, they get going early. Couple of play action, deep balls. It's going to be over in the first half. I'm laying the points with the Broncos. Western goes to 5-0. Eastern Michigan goes to 0-5, coming off of their tough loss last week against Central Michigan. Broncos, big.
Wow, that's hitting it out of the park. I have nothing to say but one word: laying. Carl.
Laying.
Done. Simple. All right. One-word answers for the rest of the way here because I see my man up there keeping show notes, and I know I'm on the clock. Syracuse, Notre Dame. Notre Dame is minus 33.5, last game of their season, regular season. I am laying. Royce.
Laying.
Carl.
Laying.
Iowa at Illinois. Iowa minus 13.5. I am taking. Carl.
Laying.
Royce.
Taken.
Last one. Second to last one. Sorry. Alabama minus 29 at LSU. My God, are you kidding me? It's never seen a spread like this in an Alabama-LSU game. Easy. Lay it again. Royce, your turn.
Lay it. Also grab 160 with Mac Jones to win the Heisman.
Ooh. Carl?
Laying.
Boy, we are chalk-eating mother. I guess tonight, everybody's laying. We get out the axes, man. Carl, in between shoveling the driveway, get out the axe and cut some wood because we are laying it tonight.
Laying it.
Last game, the one that everyone can't wait to watch tomorrow in college football. College game day's there. This is it. BYU gets the call like Carl did tonight. You got to go play Coastal Carolina. You got to go and play Coastal Carolina. And you get to lay 11? What the fuck? Where's Mo to tell me he's taking BYU? Because I am taking Coastal again. Now I get him plus 11? Please tell me, Royce, laying or taking?
Taken. Give me those points.
Carl?
Yeah, I hope yeah, I'm with you guys. I'm going Coastal on this one.
Man, I hope they win this game outright. Just
I do.
The whole thing, like the whole country and college football fans got to be rooting for Coastal tomorrow.
For sure.
I just hope the kids don't get hurt, really. I mean, seriously, if we can win the game, that's great. Just don't get hurt, seriously. All right. That's it for laying or taking. We got one segment left. We got to take a minute. Before we do, I got this other read, and I got it right here. The Gaming Today subscription is $185 for the year. You get award-winning content analysis, stats, picks, casino industry news, and more. You get a Dawn Best feed with real-time lines and scores from 6 Vegas sportsbooks, links to casino deals and sportsbook app signups. You even get the Gaming Today newspaper in digital form. Just go to gamingtoday.com/register. Email Howard. He's at Gaming Today News. Nobody emails him. Nobody calls him back. He really gets pissed off about it. So actually, send him something and then, don't respond. That'll probably really trigger the whole thing. That'll be good. All right. Let's start up. I mean, you're kind of both making your debut, so I don't really know who to go to first. Let's go to Carl because he's part of the team. He's here. This hopefully, I don't feel like this is a one and done. This is a very strong debut. You stayed up late for us, for God's sakes. It's 1 o'clock in the morning where you're at. And I know this is way past your bedtime. So good job. You got ready to go. 1 minute is yours on the clock, starting in 3, 2, 1, go.
Mine's really simple. I just want to say thank you to you guys, to Reynolds, to AB, to Mo, to you. A couple months ago, I was just really starting to stick my toe in the water here a little bit in this whole thing, and I stumbled across a video on YouTube of you guys sitting around and BSing about football, and I said, wow, I fucking like these guys. You said, hey, somebody put a comment down here on one of our YouTube videos. So I went on and I said, hey, Dave's looking for a comment. Here's a comment. You guys are good. And that's turned into this. I've had a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun putting together the Run and Shoot 7 or 8 or 9 and playing on the Twitter for you guys. It's been a lot of fun, and I hope to keep it going. So thanks to all of you guys.
Beautiful. Thanks, brother. We're glad to have you. It's been a blast, and we've had some conversations off the air that have just been great. A pleasure to meet you, and this is the first time we've seen each other.
Yep.
You knocked it out of the park. I mean, you knocked it out of the fucking park. So welcome. Good job. Let's go to my man, Royce. Dude, I can't wait to meet you. We trade these late night texts when you get them boys to bed. You got this, fun job. Yeah, it's a blast. No pressure. You only got 1 minute. You're a producer. You know what a minute is. You're on the clock. Oh, he got the timer, my man, for the YouTube feed. He's on the clock. Starting in 3, 2, 1.
Dave's right. A couple of months ago, Dave and I started trading text messages and tweets back and forth, and it led to DMs and a little bit more. We struck up a great friendship. What I love about what you guys do here, you have fun. Sports gambling should be fun amongst friends, hanging around, having a cocktail, dissecting games the way that we do, and have fun doing it. It doesn't need to be that serious. A lot of people do, but the real heart of the sports gambling is this right here. Having fun, shooting the shit, talking lines. I can't wait to get out to Vegas to meet you. It's going to be awesome. I think I speak for everybody when I say we're glad that you're doing great and your health is good and you're back to being you. Scary times when we all read that, what happened to you on Twitter. Thank God for your beautiful girls for having the foresight to know to make the right call. So I'm going to leave it there. Happy that you're healthy. Happy that we can continue to do this. And one day you and I are going to have a great time, and I bring the wife out to Vegas. We're going to have a lot of fun when we do it. 3, 2, 1.
Out! Oh, my God. What a pro! What a pro! Holy shit. He is at Royce 3D. Carl is at Carl Hascall, Hascall on Twitter. Mo, you ain't here. God damn, at these takes. You better get your ass back here, man. There's some people waiting to take your spot. I don't know how big we can make these boxes, but holy shit. This has been so much fun. Thank you to both of you. I'm going to take my minute right now, and it's going to kind of go off of what Royce and you guys both said, Carl. Real quick, I just want to shout out a couple people. Matt Peralt at Sports Talk Matt. He does a show called Pushing the Odds. Jose is the producer. Sammy P, I already mentioned him, but at SP Shoot, he does at Chicken Dinner. Tim Murray at Tim Murray. And even my man, New Guy, we got at Newbie Talks, Dan, out in Reading, PA. I do these hits all week. I do radio hits. That means you go on a show and you talk. And I get reps. And I talk. And I can't stop talking. Since the stroke, I can't shut the fuck up. I don't even care. My kids are like, oh, another story time. Here we go. Yep, here we go. I got to do a couple shows on VSiN, Sirius XM satellite radio this week, thanks to kind of getting the reps here. And, Reynolds has experience being there and like being a producer and being a pro. And, Royce, you're a pro. Carl and I, we're just guys to talk about it. But like getting all the reps, the value of getting reps. Royce, you put in the time, And then when the opportunity comes, I'm sitting there at VSiN and they're like, you nervous? I'm like, no. Why? And they're like, well, there's a lot of people listening. I'm like, I don't care. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. And I'm watching the clock. I'm watching the clock in the VSiN studio the whole time because of you. And like Mo, AB, all the guests we've had from Furman all the way back, everybody, it's been awesome. And I think the ride's just getting started. I did a video on YouTube called The Sports Betting Show with a bunch of guys who are guys that gamble, but they don't know shit about this. And they were like, Dave, help us out, do this. It was so much fun. I recommend go and find Captain Jack Andrews at Captain Jack on Twitter. Find the show. It's really a long watch. It's longer than The Goddamn Irishman. It's longer than the Godfather. And it's almost as long as me taking a minute right now. So that's it. I'm going to get out with that. But thank you to everybody for listening. Thank you. Keep spreading the show at GT Cash Consider. I'm going to sign off for everyone. Great episode. Find some winners. The show is at GT Cash Consider, baby. We are headed to 2 dimes, 2,000 followers. That's our little personal goal. And I got the man at the controls right now doing it, Carl. He's at Carl Hascall. Again, our guest tonight, Royce at Royce3D. You got to remind me, shoot me a text on Tuesday. Watch the show. I'm definitely going to tune into that. You can find that on Twitch. And Reynolds, you're the fucking man. You did the show today. You did the radio show after. You pounded some chips real fast. He's like, I got to eat something, get some energy. And he's here. I am Reynolds 2305. Boys, have a great night, a great weekend. Thanks for coming. We'll talk to you all next week.